Hey y'all, welcome back to Summertime Tarot. If you're new to the channel, my name is Summer and this here is a July reading for Sun, Moon, Rising sign Leo. All right, Leo. So what I'm picking up is like you may be okay. This is kind of giving me the vibes of like friends. So like when it comes to your friend groups or something, you may be experiencing maybe like a little bit of chaos or conflict. You may have a hard time, or you just may be feeling as if it's a bit hard for you to trust people at this time. And I feel like it has to do with your friend group. You may even be feeling like things are out of control in some way in your life. But I kind of get like there's one person that's close to you that you may feel like you can trust, or at least you're getting to that point where you feel like you can open up to this person. But it may be hard for you. Okay, that's what I'm getting first off. But let's go ahead and get into the cards. Let's see what's going on here for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. Okay, bottom of the deck, first off, we got the Hermit. So yeah, you may be, spending a good deal of time alone because you feel like maybe disconnected from folks, or like I was saying, you feel like you may not be able to trust certain folks or to open up in some way about what's bothering you, about what's going on. But let's see what else wants to come out here for Leo. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. All right, so bottom of the deck here, we have Judgment. Yeah. Wow. I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, I was picking up. Hey, man, you might say that I'm making it up, but I was picking up on like drugs or like alcohol, drugs, that kind of thing. So like you may be dealing with some quote unquote addictions, like things showing up but I feel like it's mainly like past cycles that you are trying to get out of, or may just be having a hard time like really getting out of. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so some of you here, you may just be dealing with a lot at this time that you may not be talking about with people, like I was saying earlier, and you may be avoiding it, right, in whatever way. For some people, it could be, drugs. For others, it could be work. It could be anything that you're doing to kind of get your mind off of your feelings, what it is that you're feeling or experiencing, right? With this Two of Blades here, there may be a good deal of like stress when it comes to your home life, due to finances, kids, or just, day-to-day things that may be overwhelming you right now. And so what I'm getting is it's going to be important for you to find an outlet here for you to kind of release those pent-up emotions in the best way, in a healthy way. Right? Because you may be finding that you may be going back to certain habits or patterns or cycles in order to try and find a way to ease your stress. So rather than going backwards, it's just going to be important that you find like a new outlet, a new way of dealing with these emotions, right? It could be working out, it could be gardening, it could be, I don't know, some new creative project or thing, makeup, hair, working with kids, whatever it may be, cooking, anything like that, okay? But let's go ahead, let's clarify here. Let's clarify this Two of Blades in reverse. Yeah, but I feel like it's like someone here, there may be like drama in your friend groups or in your family. Um, and like somebody isn't talking to someone else. Let's see what's going on here with this Two of Blades. So like you may be like the mediator or like the fixer. But we got the Knight of Swords coming out again here. Now you may be the fixer here, and you've gotten to the point where it's like you can't, worry about other people's stuff anymore because you have your own. Yeah, it's like you're learning that you have to like keep your distance from certain things in order to keep your cool, keep your peace, right? It's like you may have been taking on a lot of other people's burdens or issues in the past in order to kind of try and fix things or help people. And that may have left you feeling kind of numb or just out of sorts. And I feel like you're kind of realizing that, okay, now I have to kind of back up, focus on myself, get myself together, worry about me, and so does everyone else. Yeah. Bottom of the deck here we have the Sun, so I feel like there's a lot of clarity showing up for you in connection to your relationships. For most people, I feel like it's friendships, but it could be romantic relationships, familial, however it's showing up for you. So it may be like, for some of you, it may be good to kind of try and find new friend groups, new people to surround yourself with, right? If you're like trying to get out of certain habits or patterns, it may be good to, start connecting with new people, to start connecting with new environments, so that you're not kind of pulled back to certain patterns or cycles or habits that you're trying to break free from. Okay? Let's see. Yeah, let's clarify this Knight of Blades. Okay, so bottom of the deck here we have Ace of Cups. Yeah, it's giving me kind of like a standoff here. So, right, either like, okay, so I'm getting either maybe there's someone or two folks in your friend group or two folks that you know who may not be talking, and they're kind of wanting you to be mediator, or you are waiting on someone to come in to like rectify a certain situation in either your friend group or or your family, someone that you have a relationship with here. You may be waiting on them, they may be waiting on you to kind of come together and fix things, but it's like what I get from this is you don't want to, or you've been waiting for so long that you kind of got to the point where it was like, okay, well, I'm fine with things as they are, so I'm gonna just focus on me, focus on doing what I need to do for myself. Yeah, it's almost like like either you're always the mediator or you're always the bigger person. And it's like you're kind of tired of doing that. Okay. Yeah. It just seems like you want out of a certain situation. Be it a job, a relationship, yeah, it's just like you're not happy with how things are anymore. And you're trying to kind of find an out. But I feel like here with this Knight of Swords showing up twice, right? It's like to make sure that you're not moving too quickly. Right? I feel like when it comes, right, this is just my 2 cents here. But when it comes to like relationships, the first thing I want to say is when you know, when you know, like, you know, you know when I'm laughing because I can't get my words together, but when you know something is done, you know it's done. So if like you feel like a relationship or yeah, a partnership of some sort is done, it's lived its purpose, then by all means cut it off, okay? But if you're kind of like in this space right now where you're just trying to kind of figure things out and you don't know up from down and you're just going through a lot, you're going through a lot of changes, a lot of transitions, I feel like it's important that you be patient with certain things, and with certain people as well, right? Especially if they mean something to you, if they're important in your life, right? It doesn't mean you have to like continue to show up as you did in the past. No, you can change the way that you interact with certain people or certain situations. But I feel like with this Hierophant showing up, it's like if you are trying to disconnect yourself from a certain person or a certain situation, a certain group of people, then it's like time to like start thinking about that, to start planning around that, to start figuring out, okay, well, how can I do this? And da 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 da. But otherwise, it's kind of time for you, I feel, to kind of sit down and kind of voice your concerns, to talk about what's going on, right? If you feel like things need to be changed within your circle or with certain relationships, then you're gonna have to, talk about it. Okay, but let's go ahead. Let's see. Let's put a little card for some shadow work here for the month of July. Oh, okay. So those just wanted to pop out. So we have downcast pride and hiding your true self. This gives me the vibe like it's almost like there's a part of you that wants to grow, that wants to express itself, but you're kind of holding it back in order to appease certain people, but also to protect yourself, I feel. Right? Either from rejection or I don't know why, but kind of jealousy is coming to my mind. Like you may feel, or you may be afraid that other people will try and pull you down or kind of like knock you off your path or what have you. Right? And if those are the types of folks that are around you, amen. I don't know if you want to, surround yourself with that type of vibe. Yeah. And for others, I feel like it may be that you feel like you don't know who you really are, or who it is that you're becoming. That's kind of what I get as well. But let's go ahead and read from the book here. So for Downcast Pride, it says, survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it. As we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with a world that would spread us apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility, or through an hidden core of identity. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what can only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We are deluded when we think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't it sad? Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change color too. As long as we sometimes look up, we can notice. Okay, and then for hiding your true self, let's see here. It says, hiding is a survival instinct. Do you want to be honest and truly be yourself? Very few people will accept you then. You are too complicated to be comfortable, too contradictory to be easy, too exceptional to be believed, too plain to be considered. You can be the sun, you can be the moon, you can be the door, you can be the road, you can be the butterfly and the brick. Maybe the question is not if, but when. Sometimes real solitude is when there is not a right moment to be yourself, and not the right person, and neither the right way. Being yourself is like a moment at the spa. It is a massage for the soul, a purification process that brings in oxygen and turns away age and wear. It is bliss and pleasure. Okay. Yeah, so you may be struggling to feel, you may be struggling to find your true self at this time. You may be feeling a bit uncomfortable in the company that you keep. And I feel like it's important that you focus in July on connecting with yourself, right? I feel like that's why the Hermit showed up at the beginning of this reading here. Right? It's kind of hard to be yourself when you don't know yourself. Right? I mean, you can, right? In connecting with yourself, you kind of, or in learning yourself, you kind of actually start to embrace all the facets of who you are. And I feel like that's where you kind of have to start. You have to embrace like where it is that you're coming from. Right? Rather than trying to completely close yourself off from certain things or certain people, I feel like it's important that you kind of slow down. Yeah. Just slow down and like kind of be present so that you can really find yourself. You can really connect with yourself. And if you feel like certain groups or certain people just aren't working for you anymore, then by all means, snip, snip here. But, I feel like just be mindful here. Focus on what's, most important for you, what's best for you. And I feel like everything shall be well. Okay, so let's close this out with some cards for advice. So what's the advice here for Leo? I feel like it'd be good to get out in nature here. That's why with this Magician here. Connect with the earth. For some reason, I'm thinking of nymphs. We have Seek here. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have forgiveness. Holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, you may have to like speak your truth here to certain people. Okay. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. Okay, so we have here seek. The power of spirit exists in all things. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in our physical world contains a fragment of spirit, including you. We are all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. Yeah, with this, what I'm getting here is, okay, it makes me think, I think I talked about this in another video. I don't know. Yeah, I did. Okay, yeah, okay. So I feel like, okay, when it comes to really like growth on your spiritual journey, or just all in life, right? Sometimes we get to the point where it's like, all right, these people, this place, this, the third doesn't work for me anymore. And sometimes we can be very harsh, right? I feel like harsh is coming up with the knight of swords here. We can be very harsh or brash. Is that the right word? I don't know. When it comes to kind of cutting things off and disconnecting from things, right? It's making me think of ghosting for some reason. And so we can get to the point where it's like, okay, boop, I don't need you anymore. And then we can either have a lot of anger, right? Resentment. We can kind of begin to despise certain people that we were once connected to in a very kind of strong way. And I say all that to say this, right? When it comes to your growth, I feel like it's important to realize that every place, every person that helped you along your path, right, that you connected with along your path in the past, has helped you in some way and is very much connected to you, right? Spirit and always will be connected to one another. We are all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. It's like if you try and cut yourself off from things or people that were once really important to you, or once, you know, had a big effect on your life, simply because maybe, you know, you guys don't see eye to eye anymore. You guys are just in different areas of your life. And if you do that in a kind of negative way, meaning you may like talk bad about them or start judging them in some way, right? You're really kind of just doing that to yourself, because they are you and you are them, right? You may have advanced along your path, but your paths are still connected, right? Because you met at one time, you were connected at one time. It's kind of like, it's making me think of trees. You know, what if the leaves that were on the tree, you know, kind of just was like, oh, you're a jerk, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I feel like if you are, you know, in the process of, you know, disconnecting from certain people, certain situations, just do so in the most healthy way for yourself, right? That is free of resentment, free of judgment, that you're not kind of like holding on to any anger or grief around certain people or certain things, so that, you know, it frees you up, right? It's for you, not for them, to put it plainly. Okay, but hopefully that made sense, Leo, and I hope it helped you in some way. If it did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you're interested in booking a personal reading, be sure to head to the description box below for the link to summertimetarot.com to book that. All right, but I truly appreciate you and hope to see you soon. Peace out.